angry residents are sending to the government over plans to take their land. And these cranky constituents aren't leaving quietly.
Farmers in Pennsylvania are encountering yet another obstacle as the government is seizing their land for public safety reasons. However, the question arises, what specific threats do these farmlands pose to public safety? Join us today as we delve into why the government is acquiring farmland in Pennsylvania.
Basically, the government can take land from a private citizen as long as it benefits the community.
The implications of such actions and what alternative measures the government could pursue. Let's get started. Farmland in Pennsylvania holds immense importance, not only for the state itself, but also for the entire nation.
It's not just the land when it comes to farmers that they're taking. They're taking away their livelihood, they're taking away their business, they're taking away years of cultivation.
The significance of farmland in Pennsylvania can be understood from various perspectives, including its historical, economic, social, and environmental roles. First and foremost, Pennsylvania's farmland has deep historical roots that trace back to the early settlements of Europeans in the 17th century. The fertile soil and favorable climate of the region attracted farmers who established agricultural communities, laying the foundation for Pennsylvania's rich agricultural heritage. Over the centuries, farming has remained a fundamental aspect of Pennsylvania's identity, shaping its rural landscapes, cultural traditions, and way of life. From an economic standpoint, farmland in Pennsylvania contributes significantly to the state's economy and food supply. Agriculture is one of Pennsylvania's largest industries, generating billions of dollars in revenue annually. The state's diverse agricultural production encompasses a wide range of crops, including corn, soybeans, wheat, oats, fruit, vegetables, and dairy products. Additionally, Pennsylvania is home to thriving livestock and poultry sectors, producing meat, eggs, and other animal products. Pennsylvania's agricultural output not only sustains its own population, but also plays a crucial role in supplying food to the rest of the nation. The state's strategic location in the Northeast region allows it to serve as a vital hub for agricultural distribution, supplying fresh produce and other agricultural products to nearby urban centers such as Philadelphia, New York City, and Washington, D.C. Furthermore, Pennsylvania's agricultural exports contribute to trade and commerce on a national and international scale, enhancing the state's economic competitiveness and global presence. Beyond its economic contributions, farmland in Pennsylvania serves vital social functions, supporting rural communities and fostering a sense of connectedness and belonging among residents. Family farms have long been the backbone of rural communities, providing livelihoods, preserving agricultural traditions, and strengthening social bonds. The intergenerational transfer of farming knowledge and skills ensures the continuity of agricultural practices and values, enriching the fabric of rural life in Pennsylvania. Moreover, farming in Pennsylvania provides essential employment opportunities and sustains local businesses throughout the agricultural supply chain. From equipment manufacturers and farm suppliers to food processors and retail outlets, agriculture supports a diverse array of enterprises that contribute to rural prosperity and economic development. Additionally, agro-tourism activities such as farm tours, farmers markets, and agricultural festivals attract visitors from near and far, stimulating tourism revenue and bolstering community pride. From an environmental perspective, Pennsylvania's farmland plays a critical role in ecosystem health, biodiversity conservation, and natural resource management. Well-managed agricultural lands help to maintain soil fertility, prevent erosion, and protect water quality by minimizing runoff and sedimentation. Sustainable farming practices such as crop rotation, cover cropping, and integrated pest management promote ecological resilience and reduce reliance on chemical inputs, thereby mitigating environmental impacts and preserving natural resources for future generations. Farmland in Pennsylvania is not just a piece of land used for agricultural purposes. It's a cornerstone of the state's identity, economy, and environment. Delving deeper into the importance of farmland in Pennsylvania reveals a complex tapestry of interconnected factors that shape its significance. Historically, Pennsylvania's farmland has been a symbol of resilience and adaptation. Since the arrival of European settlers in the 17th century, the land has been cultivated and transformed to meet the evolving needs of its inhabitants. The early settlers recognized the fertility of Pennsylvania's soil and its potential for agriculture, leading to the establishment of farms and rural communities across the state. Over time, farming practices evolved, influenced by technological advancements, cultural traditions, and environmental factors. Today, Pennsylvania's farmland stands as a testament to the perseverance and ingenuity of generations of farmers who have worked the land to sustain themselves and their communities. From an economic perspective, farmland in Pennsylvania is a driving force behind the state's agricultural industry. Agriculture contributes billions of dollars to Pennsylvania's economy each year, supporting thousands of jobs and businesses. The state's diverse agricultural sector encompasses a wide range of activities, including crop production, livestock farming, dairy operations, and agribusiness services. Pennsylvania ranks among the top states in the nation for the production of various crops, such as mushrooms, apples, and Christmas trees, highlighting the importance of its farmland in meeting consumer demand both locally and nationally. Moreover, Pennsylvania's agricultural products play a crucial role in feeding the nation's population. The state's strategic location in the Northeast Corridor allows it to serve as a key hub for food distribution, supplying fresh produce, meat, dairy, and other agricultural products to major urban centers along the East Coast. The accessibility of Pennsylvania's farmland to densely populated areas ensures a steady and reliable food supply, supporting the health and well-being of millions of Americans. Beyond its economic contributions, farmland in Pennsylvania holds significant social value, serving as the heart of rural communities throughout the state. Family farms are often multi-generational enterprises, passed down from parents to children, preserving agricultural traditions and values for future generations. The sense of pride and connection to the land runs deep among Pennsylvania farmers, who view their farms not just as businesses, but as legacies to be cherished and preserved. Additionally, farming fosters social cohesion and community spirit, as neighbors come together to support one another during harvests, barn raisings, and other communal activities. Furthermore, farmland in Pennsylvania plays a critical role in environmental sustainability and natural resource conservation. Agriculture is inherently tied to the land, and farmers have a vested interest in maintaining its health and productivity for future generations. Many Pennsylvania farmers employ sustainable farming practices, such as conservation tillage, crop rotation, and cover cropping, to minimize soil erosion, reduce nutrient runoff, and protect water quality. Now, these practices not only benefit the environment, but also contribute to the long-term viability of farmland operations by preserving soil fertility and enhancing ecosystem resilience. Pennsylvanian farmers utilize their land in diverse and innovative ways, contributing significantly to the state's agricultural productivity and playing a crucial role in feeding the entire United States. Understanding how Pennsylvanian farmers use their land requires a comprehensive exploration of various agricultural practices, crops grown, livestock raised, and technological advancements employed. Crop rotation is one of the primary ways Pennsylvanian farmers utilize the land. The state's diverse climate and fertile soil support the cultivation of a wide range of crops, including grains, fruits, vegetables, and specialty crops. Corn, soybeans, wheat, and oats are among the staple crops grown in Pennsylvania, with corn being particularly important for livestock feed and ethanol production. Additionally, Pennsylvania is known for its thriving fruit and vegetable industry, producing apples, peaches, strawberries, tomatoes, potatoes, and other fresh produce that supply local markets and contribute to the state's economy. Pennsylvanian farmers also engage in specialty crop production, such as mushrooms, Christmas trees, and nursery products, which cater to niche markets and provide additional sources of income. The state's mushroom industry, in particular, is renowned for its high-quality products and significant economic impact, with Pennsylvania being the leading mushroom-producing state in the nation. Furthermore, Pennsylvanian farmers play a crucial role in livestock and poultry production, raising cattle, pigs, sheep, goats, poultry, and other animals for meat, dairy, and fiber. Dairy farming has long been a cornerstone of Pennsylvania agriculture, with the state ranking among the top milk-producing states in the nation. Additionally, Pennsylvania is home to a thriving poultry industry, producing eggs and poultry products to meet consumer demand. In recent years, Pennsylvanian farmers have increasingly embraced sustainable farming practices and technological advancements to enhance efficiency, productivity, and environmental stewardship. Conservation tillage, cover cropping, and precision agriculture techniques are commonly used to minimize soil erosion, conserve water, and reduce input costs. Furthermore, advancements in genetics, crop breeding, and biotechnology have led to the development of high-yielding crop varieties and improved livestock breeds that are more resilient to pests, diseases, and environmental stresses. Pennsylvanian farmers also utilize their land for agroforestry, woodland management, and conservation purposes, maintaining forested areas for timber production, wildlife habitat, and recreational activities. Many farmers participate in conservation programs and initiatives aimed at protecting soil, water, and biodiversity, such as the Conservation Reserve Program, or CRP, Environmental Quality Incentives Program, or EQIP, and Agricultural Conservation Easement Program, or ASAP. The importance of Pennsylvanian farmers' land use extends far beyond the borders of the state, as their agricultural products contribute to the nation's food security, economic vitality, and cultural heritage. Pennsylvania's agricultural output not only feeds its own population, but also supplies food to consumers across the United States and around the world. The state's strategic location in the Northeast region allows it to serve as a key transportation and distribution hub for agricultural products, facilitating the movement of goods to major markets along the East Coast and beyond. Furthermore, Pennsylvania farmers' adoption of sustainable farming practices and environmental stewardship initiatives has broader implications for national and global sustainability efforts. By implementing practices that promote soil health, water quality, and biodiversity conservation, Pennsylvanian farmers are contributing to the resilience and sustainability of agricultural systems and ecosystems on a larger scale. Their efforts to mitigate climate change, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and enhance ecosystem services have ripple effects that extend far beyond state borders and benefit society as a whole. The issue of farmland acquisition in Pennsylvania is complex and multifaceted, driven by a combination of factors, including urbanization, infrastructure development, economic pressures, and land use policies. Understanding why Pennsylvania is experiencing farmland loss requires an in-depth exploration of these underlying drivers and their implications for the state's agricultural landscape. One of the primary reasons for taking of farmlands in Pennsylvania is urbanization and suburban sprawl. As population growth and urban development continue to expand into rural areas, prime agricultural land is being converted into residential, commercial, and industrial developments. Cities and towns are expanding outward, encroaching upon farmland and displacing traditional agricultural operations. This phenomenon is particularly pronounced in regions experiencing rapid population growth and economic development, such as the Greater Philadelphia area, the Lehigh Valley, and the Pittsburgh metropolitan area. Moreover, infrastructure development projects, such as road construction, highway expansion, and utility installations, often require the acquisition of farmland through eminent domain or other legal mechanisms. Pennsylvania's transportation infrastructure is continually being upgraded and expanded to accommodate growing population and traffic demands, resulting in the acquisition of agricultural land for new roads, bridges, interchanges, and transportation corridors. While these infrastructure projects may serve the public interest by improving mobility and connectivity, they can also have adverse effects on farmland, fragmenting agricultural landscapes and disrupting farming operations. Additionally, economic pressures and market forces play a significant role in farmland acquisition in Pennsylvania. As land values increase due to demand from developers, investors, and speculators, farmers may face financial incentives to sell their land for non-agricultural uses. Rising land prices, coupled with escalating property taxes and operating costs, can make it difficult for farmers to sustain viable agricultural operations, leading some to consider selling the land for development or alternative uses. Furthermore, changes in market conditions, consumer preferences, and global trade dynamics can influence land use decisions and drive shifts in agricultural land ownership patterns. Land use policies and regulations also shape the dynamics of farmland acquisition in Pennsylvania. While the state has implemented various land preservation programs and zoning ordinances to protect farmland from development, these measures may not always be sufficient to counteract the forces of urbanization and infrastructure expansion. In some cases, regulatory barriers and bureaucratic hurdles may impede efforts to preserve farmland or restrict its conversion to non-agricultural uses. Moreover, Conflicting priorities between agricultural preservation and economic development can create tensions and trade-offs in land use decision-making processes. Furthermore, demographic trends, cultural shifts, and societal values can influence attitudes towards farmland and agricultural activities in Pennsylvania. As younger generations migrate to urban areas and pursue non-farming careers, the agricultural workforce may shrink, leading to changes in land ownership and land use patterns. Additionally, changing consumer preferences for locally sourced, organic, and sustainable foods may create some new opportunities and challenges for Pennsylvanian farmers, influencing their decision regarding land use and agricultural practices. The implications of farmland loss in Pennsylvania are far-reaching and multifaceted, with significant implications for food security, economic prosperity, environmental sustainability, and societal well-being. Understanding these implications requires a comprehensive examination of the various ways in which farmland loss impacts individuals, communities, and the broader landscape of Pennsylvania. One of the most immediate implications of farmland loss is its impact on food security and agricultural production. As prime agricultural land is converted into non-agricultural uses, the availability of land for farming diminishes, potentially reducing the state's capacity to produce food and other agricultural products. This can lead to increased reliance on food imports from other regions or countries, heightening vulnerabilities to supply chain disruptions, market fluctuations, and geopolitical uncertainties. Additionally, farmland loss may limit opportunities for local food production and agricultural entrepreneurship, hindering efforts to promote food sovereignty, resilience, and self-sufficiency within Pennsylvania. Furthermore, farmland loss can have significant economic consequences for farmers, rural communities, and the broader economy of Pennsylvania. Agriculture is a major driver of the state's economy, contributing billions of dollars in revenue annually and supporting thousands of jobs and businesses. The loss of farmland not only threatens the livelihoods of farmers and agricultural workers, but also undermines the economic vitality of rural communities that rely on agriculture as a primary source of income and employment. Moreover, farmland loss may diminish property values, reduce tax revenues, and erode the economic base of agricultural regions, exacerbating disparities between urban and rural areas. In addition to its economic impacts, farmland loss poses environmental challenges and risks to ecosystem health, biodiversity, and natural resource management. Agricultural lands play a critical role in supporting wildlife habitat, water filtration, carbon sequestration, and soil conservation, providing essential ecosystem services that benefit society as a whole. The conversion of farmland into urban or industrial developments can disrupt these ecological functions, leading to habitat fragmentation, loss of biodiversity, soil degradation, and water pollution. Moreover, the loss of farmland may exacerbate climate change impacts by reducing the capacity of agricultural lands to absorb carbon dioxide and mitigate greenhouse gas emissions. Furthermore, farmland loss has social implications for rural communities, cultural heritage, and quality of life in Pennsylvania. Family farms are often intergenerational enterprises that serve as the backbone of rural communities, fostering a sense of identity, belonging, and community cohesion. The loss of farmland can disrupt these social networks, erode agricultural traditions, and weaken the social fabric of rural areas. Moreover, farmland loss may contribute to rural depopulation, outmigration of young people, and demographic shifts, leading to aging populations, declining school enrollment, and diminished community resilience. Moreover, farmland loss can exacerbate land use conflicts, zoning disputes, and tensions between agricultural and non-agricultural stakeholders in Pennsylvania. As land becomes increasingly scarce and valuable, competition for land resources intensifies, leading to conflicts over land use priorities, property rights, and development regulations. Moreover, farmland loss may exacerbate inequalities and disparities in access to land, resources, and opportunities, particularly for small-scale and historically disadvantaged farmers who may face barriers to land ownership and tenure security. Furthermore, farmland loss can have long-term implications for land use planning, policymaking, and governance in Pennsylvania. As agricultural landscapes are transformed into urban and suburban developments, policymakers and planners must grapple with the challenges of balancing competing interests, reconciling conflicting priorities, and ensuring sustainable land use practices. Moreover, Farmland loss may necessitate the implementation of innovative strategies and interventions to preserve agricultural lands, promote smart growth, and mitigate the impacts of urban sprawl. Addressing farmland loss in Pennsylvania requires a multifaceted approach that involves proactive policies, strategic investments, and collaborative efforts among government agencies, stakeholders, and communities. The government plays a pivotal role in shaping land use decisions, regulating development activities, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices. To effectively address farmland loss and preserve agricultural land, the government should consider a range of strategies and interventions aimed at balancing competing interests, protecting valuable resources, and fostering resilient communities. One of the primary responsibilities of the government is to establish and enforce land use regulations and zoning ordinances that prioritize agricultural preservation and discourage sprawl development. This can be achieved through the comprehensive land use planning, zoning reforms, and regulatory mechanisms that designate agricultural zones, establish conservation easements, and restrict non-agricultural uses on prime farmland. By creating incentives for agricultural landowners to voluntarily participate in conservation programs and land trusts, the government can encourage the long-term protection of agricultural lands while providing financial assistance and technical support to farmers. Furthermore, the government should invest in farmland preservation programs, funding mechanisms, and incentive schemes that provide financial incentives for farmers to keep their land in agricultural production. This can include the establishment of agricultural land trusts, purchase of development rights programs, and agricultural conservation easements that compensate landowners for the value of their land while ensuring its permanent protection from development. By leveraging public-private partnerships and philanthropic contributions, the government can maximize the impact of farmland preservation efforts and expand the availability of funding for conservation initiatives. Moreover, the government should support agricultural viability and resilience by investing in infrastructure improvements, agricultural research, and extension services that enhance productivity, efficiency, and sustainability on farms. This can include investments in irrigation systems, drainage infrastructure, and soil conservation practices that improve water management, soil health, and crop yields. Additionally, the government should promote the adoption of climate-smart agricultural practices, such as cover cropping, crop rotation, and integrated pest management that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, mitigate climate change impacts, and enhance the overall ecosystem resilience. Furthermore, the government should prioritize the protection of farmland and natural areas through the acquisition of strategic parcels of land for conservation purposes, such as parks, greenways, and wildlife corridors. This can involve the expansion of state and local park systems, establishment of wildlife refuges, and creation of scenic byways that preserve the scenic beauty, ecological integrity, and cultural heritage of Pennsylvania's beautiful landscapes. By investing in land acquisition and conservation efforts, the government can safeguard critical habitats, protect biodiversity, and provide recreational opportunities for residents and visitors alike. Additionally, the government should provide agricultural education, training, and outreach programs that empower farmers with the knowledge, skills, and resources needed to adopt sustainable farming practices and navigate changing market conditions. This can include support for agricultural extension services, vocational training programs, and technical assistance initiatives that provide farmers with access to expertise, information, and the best practices in areas such as soil conservation, water management, and pest control. By investing in agricultural education and extension services, the government can foster innovation, resilience, and adaptability within the agricultural sector, ensuring its long-term viability and competitiveness. Moreover, the government should foster collaboration and partnership among stakeholders, including farmers, landowners, conservation organizations, local governments, and community groups, all to develop and implement coordinated strategies for farmland preservation and sustainable land use planning. This can involve the establishment of multi-stakeholder task forces, advisory committees, and working groups that facilitate dialogue, share knowledge, and coordinate actions across different sectors and jurisdictions. By fostering collaboration and partnership, the government can leverage collective expertise, resources, and capacities to address farmland loss holistically and effectively. Furthermore, the government should promote access to affordable farmland for new and aspiring farmers, particularly young farmers, beginning farmers, and historically disadvantaged farmers who may face barriers to land ownership and tenure security. This can include the creation of land access programs, financing mechanisms, and land trust initiatives that provide opportunities for farmers to lease or purchase farmland at affordable rates, access capital and credit, and secure long-term tenure agreements. By promoting land access and tenure security, the government can support the next generation of farmers and ensure that continued vitality and diversity of Pennsylvania's agricultural sector. Additionally, the government should integrate farmland preservation goals into broader land use planning efforts, economic development strategies, and environmental conservation initiatives to ensure that agricultural lands are considered and protected in decision-making processes across different sectors and scales. This can involve the incorporation of farmland preservation objectives into comprehensive plans, regional development plans, and watershed management plans that guide land use decisions and investments. By mainstreaming farmland preservation into broader policy frameworks and planning processes, the government can institutionalize a proactive and integrated approach to land use management and conservation. Furthermore, the government should engage in public outreach, education, and advocacy efforts to raise awareness about the importance of farmland preservation, promote appreciation for agricultural heritage, and mobilize support for conservation initiatives among policymakers, stakeholders, and the general public. This can include the development of educational materials, outreach campaigns, and public events that highlight the economic, environmental, and cultural value of farmland and the benefits of preserving agricultural landscapes. By engaging stakeholders and fostering public support, the government can build momentum for farmland preservation efforts and generate political will for policy action. Well, that's all for this video. But what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section below. And thanks for watching.